and what's this called? John Wick.
Jesus fucking Christ!
John Wick review, take one. All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our review of John Wick, the movie, as opposed to the play. Arianna, what'd you think of John Wick?
I liked it.
I was really curious. Oh, okay, really?
It was good. It had enough for me to stay intrigued the whole time, and they gave me blips of backstory, of actual plot line of just, I'm just not on this mission to this man. Like, things that kept me more invested. I think at one point in time, I kind of started to zone out when they were in the club, but that was more or less just because it's when my butt first started falling asleep. And then my brain, and then my ADHD brain started going. Yeah. So if my butt started falling, I could probably go for a run after this, probably. And then I was like, wait, no, I'm watching a movie. And like, I had to like rein it in. But that was partially on me. But there were little tidbits that kept me interested in like the honor of it all. Like the Hitman's codes, I guess. The big book of rules that I know nothing about. I feel like that was cool. It kept giving you just enough like little tidbits and stuff that it wasn't just all, wow, he's really cool and shooting guns. It was like I related. And honestly, Vigo, is that how you say his name? Vigo? Vigo? Yeah. His son was really easy to hate. And then he became easy to hate. I was like, if you let me go, like, whatever. I was like, so where's your fucking honor? I agree. And then you go after Marcus for honor? The audacity and the hypocrisy is incredible there. And it's so I'm like, so that also kept me very engaged as well. Yeah, I think that creates dynamics in the plot, which was interesting because they kick you off with the son is horrible and you hate him. The Losov, but as we all know him, a Greyjoy. And he But what I like about it is that he starts off really hateable, and you think the dad is going to be like the guy who kind of knows how this goes, and he's kind of the relatable one, and he's not so evil. But then he actually does kill the son, which I was like, oh, this is kind of a twist, because I'm used to that would be the last person in the movie. That would be like the ending of the movie to kill the son. No, he kills the son at, I don't know, the 2/3 point or something like that. Yeah. So you're like, oh, there's more movie. Definitely the end of the second, beginning of the third act. 100%. Yeah. So the second act or the third act break, he goes and kills him. So you're like, oh, there's more movie. And then a little bit before that, but then moving further in, because I think he actually gives up his son, right? No, he gives up his son. He gives the exact address to the safe house that they're expecting. He goes perfect. So even at that point, I'm thinking like, okay, cool, this Vigo guy is going to be a guy that I'm like, you know what? It's that like honor among thieves kind of mafia thing. I kind of respect it. But then he turns into a total piece of crap. Right, I agree. So I like that. I think that that allowed for dynamics of like shifting your feelings about the characters, which gave it more length. Otherwise, you would have got bored faster. So I think that was smart. I agree. Yeah. I agree for sure. But another thing you're saying that I also very much so agree with is the world building, basically. For being a straightforward revenge assassin movie, there's actually all this kind of cute fantasy world building. I'm obsessed.
It's pretty fun.
I kind of want to be a bartender in a hitman club.
That uses gold doubloons.
It's awesome. Oh my God.
They didn't have to do any of that, and that's really fun.
I thought there was going to be more of a backstory on the gold, and then I was like, oh no, that's just currency in this life.
They just think it's cool.
Like, it's just, I'm just, you'll do it for a coin? Like, what?
The special cleanup crew that knows.
Oh my God, Charlie. I loved him.
How does he work it? What does he say when he has the cleanup crew come? He's like, I ordered pizzas or something. I forget what it was.
I need a reservation for 12.
Yeah, exactly. I just think like it's so cartoony and goofy, but it works so well because the world has built this really fun thing, which also I think fits with him being a one-man wrecking crew. Is what in our world is completely beyond ridiculous, but because they've created this like almost Pirates of the Caribbean fun like high fantasy world with assassins, now I can buy that he can do this because it's like, well, this isn't the real world, this is a goofy world. I like how, I wouldn't even call it goofy per se as much as like how they set him up. It's like not quite, it's not Taken, but how, I'm not sure, but I do enjoy the fact that Vigo, I feel like I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but whatever, he I do like how he calls him, he's like, he's not the boogeyman, he's the guy who you call to take care of the boogeyman. And I was like, that's how badass he is. Yeah, that's really telling. So. And when I say goofy, though, I don't mean like in a bad way. I just mean that, I mean heightened reality. It's like, this is almost a fantasy assassin movie, but rather than swords, everyone's got guns. Even his gun style is very unique, which I kind of like. He does this kind of almost punch shooting thing. He gets right up at you. So it's smart because it makes the action cut around it really fun, where he's doing this kind of fight choreography, even though he's using guns. So instead of being at a distance shooting people and it cuts to them and they're shooting back, it's always him like right up, boom, 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 grab this guy, boom, like that. It's just good. It's just
it looks awesome.
It's a great example of being able to get quality out of something that is such a simple story that if a lesser director had made it, it would have been very boring. You're like, I've seen Death Wish. You know, I've seen just like the guy who goes with a gun and has to shoot people. But this is like, there's a lot of fun and energy. Again, you're talking about Marcus with Willem Dafoe's character.
Yeah.
Another just super fun character. Every character, like you said, you want to, like, not one more explanation.
Gary. But... I called him the wrong name in the reaction, whatever.
That's fine.
Because I get, I don't know. I just see, I'm sorry.
It's dyslexia. You're mixing it around.
No, it's not even that. I see, I can't think of his name now. It's a character from Spider-Man. Can't think of his name.
Oh, Norman Osborn.
Yeah, but what's he called when he's the
Green
bad guy?
Goblin.
Green Goblin. That's all I see when I look at him.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
So
I do that all the time. I don't care.
I don't care. Whatever.
I do it all the time.
Different people.
I was already calling homie Theon Greyjoy, but I think. But I think it's really fun to play. It's funny how much fun I'm talking about, where the opening of the movie is extremely unfun. It's rough. Okay,
so when you break it down, like there's so much turmoil in like that first 20 minutes, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen a meme somewhere in the universe or out there about like don't kill John Wick's dog.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's gonna be a grown,
a
grown like fucking German Shepherd on duty or something like that. Like that's my brain when I get it's a man. And then I was like, there's no fucking way they're about to kill this puppy. The puppy that has so much time to make. So that's also the thing, too. You, like, literally feel his revenge and his need of revenge by making it like that. You killed the one thing he has left from his wife.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be sentimental. It's Daisy. And then it's just, I'm, like, gonna cry thinking about it now. Like, I'm not even kidding.
No,
because I was already so emotional about how cute that puppy is anyway.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Like, right before he, like, wakes him up and they go downstairs and there, I was like, I bet you his ears are so soft. And then they're downstairs killing him!
Well, and it's such a strong move, but it's smart because that anger you feel for it carries you through the movie because you're like, no, get that fucking... I'm not leaving this theater till that guy's dead.
100%. So I guess that's fair too. So then it's also... Because you're just like... And then when he's like, you murdered what I had left of my wife. Like when he's in the chair and they go to string him. Also, I did love the fact that Marcus agrees to shoot him and then he's actually helping him out, which I was like trying to figure out. Because you don't know what he's going to do until he shoots the pill to wake him up when Miss Perkins...
I guess we can talk about her.
It's coming in. Fucking hate that bitch.
If you think about it like a quadrant, it's like you have John Wick is here and Marcus is here, and then John Wick is here, Theon Greyjoy is here, and then Perkins is here and Marcus is here. So you kind of have like Marcus is like the good half of like what another person who isn't involved in the story is, and Perkins is like the bad half of what another person. But then back to the honor thing you're talking about, she breaks the rules.
She broke the rules. I was like, honestly, you're a bit like, it's the honor code. You deserve what you're getting next. There is a thing
you signed up for it.
You signed up for it.
Yeah,
you're
you know
a member at this club for a reason.
No snitching.
No. Snitchers get shot 4 different ways, fucking execution style.
No, I'm telling you.
Like,
I think that the heightened reality world that they live in with like their special hotels and there's gold doubloons and there's all these rules. It's awesome. It's fun and it elevates it. If it was simpler than that, I think if they tried to go more gritty and realistic,
it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be as good.
You would just be like, okay.
Every other mob revenge movie that you've seen. And I love a good mob movie.
Yeah.
This wasn't quite that.
But also mob movies normally have more going on than just the singular.
Exactly.
We have to be with this guy basically in every frame of every shot on an entire story of him on a singular revenge plan. Yeah. So you need stuff to make it more interesting.
He has to carry the story along. Otherwise, like, I would zone out. I mean, it got me for a second because there was so much shooting going on in the club.
It does.
And then I was like, oh, fuck. God damn it. Like... Zone back in.
I think the big thing...
I cared. I wanted to know what was going on.
Right.
It's just, my brain was just like...
So back to that point that you said that as well earlier, and I wanted to piggyback on that with each character and each kind of thing that happens is also fun because they also kind of imply deeper world too. Yeah. So you not only get this cool world that they built, but you also feel like there's more to it than even we got to see.
They all have some type of connection somewhere to something. So it's like...
Even the
bonded.
tattoos.
Yeah, the tattoos are very
You're like, oh, what's that?
Even the priest has like the random like tattoo on his hand or whatever.
It's
so
dope. I like it.
It's like it's the inside like fantasy underworld. And I don't know, I love mob movies. I don't want to be in the mob, but it's really cool to watch.
And if it was like that.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to join a secret society and be badass with a gun. But
it was really a lot of it was just a bunch of dumb guys.
That's another thing though too. Like their fight scene in the hotel was really well done too. Mm-hmm. And also like having a doctor in a mob sermon is a doctor in 24/7. Yeah,
it's just fun. It's really fun.
Good.
It makes me think of like I said earlier, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like there's this whole pirate thing you don't know about, and they have all these little special roles. There's a whole society, so it's kind of fun to be like, oh, what's up with this behind the scenes society? And it's just a lot of fun, man. I mean, yeah, I think it's not an overly complicated movie. I think it is a competently handled for this type of story. My biggest concern is I was really afraid the dog scene was going to turn you off, and you were going to be like, "Fuck this movie."
I was so upset.
I was worried.
You know what really got me too? Because oh my god, I'm like starting to cry. I'm thinking about it again. Don't fuck with dogs. It's when they put the dead body next to his face,
I know.
He was killed way over there.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's fucking mean.
Oh yeah.
But I did love the fact they're like, John Wick, and you stole his car, and you killed his dog.
Yeah.
And I like
John
how
Wick
it was
is
done.
Ammo's character.
Like, and then they're like, calls him. He's like, oh, so you punched my son.
I want to know why.
I want to know why. And then he goes, oh.
That was great. I was like, yeah.
There's a lot of one-liners that would have felt cheesy, but they didn't. They're like, yeah, dude. He's like.
I think a lot of it is tonal consistency.
100%.
This movie gets brought up a lot.
Yeah.
When you use the phrase, when you talk about a movie and you say like, oh, well, that movie was cheesy. And you go, yeah, but it knew what it was. This is the movie now that is my reference point when I say it's a movie that knew what it was. So it doesn't come across cheesy because it's tonally consistent the whole time. Where you have issues is when a movie is trying to sell you that it's like deadly serious and then something cheesy happens and you go, well, that's inconsistent. Or if vice versa, if it's like a comedy and then some really like sour, dour thing happens, you're like, where did this come from?
Right.
I don't think anything in the movie ever makes you go, where did this come from?
Oh, not at all.
Because the whole movie is very consistent. So you're on board.
Fair.
You're like, yes, of course this is cheesy real life wouldn't be like this, but that's not what the movie was offering me.
Right.
And so I think it works. And Keanu Reeves kicks ass, man.
He kicks ass.
He's great.
So good looking. He doesn't age.
I love the guy.
Have you ever seen I love random Netflix, like made from Netflix movies, but it's like Always Be My Maybe, and like she's like dating Keanu Reeves and he's like goes in and the guy's like super like I think that's the movie it is, but he's just like, I'm Keanu Reeves. And they're like like the whole time it's actually really funny.
Yes, I do know that. Yeah. And the guy's all jealous because he's trying to be and it's like, how can you compete with Keanu Reeves? I do know that one.
I was like, that's why I think like, God, he's so suave. He's just so good natured, just hanging out.
That's the thing. He's just everyone knows he's so lovable. I just saw a meme today about him where they're like, a bunch of women in Hollywood have accused Keanu Reeves of extremely appropriate behavior.
Oh yeah, because every photo is him this far away from them.
Yeah,
like he has his arm behind them, but he's not touching anything. He clearly is like, I've never touched a woman.
And everyone always says he's just the nicest guy. So awesome, guys. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into some community comments.
Yes.
All right, so this guy has a long thing. I'm going to summarize it.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, it's really long. I did not practice pronouncing this, though. Okay, so Kendall Shimabukuro says, this is one of the only movies I know where the protagonist actually reloads his firearms after firing off the normal amount of rounds held per magazine, cylinder loading, and it continues on and talks about his training. And that's a thing I just kind of wanted to get into a bit.
Yeah.
That was a weird amount of attention to detail that they did pay attention to. The gun sounds are notoriously known for being very accurate. He does shoot the appropriate amount of shots and reload. And I think it's because they treated the gun choreography like dance choreography.
Yeah.
We said it earlier, but it's like, gun shooting scenes could be boring when it's a guy standing behind something shooting over a desk and another guy. And they went to make this very fluid, dancey gun kata style way of fighting for him, which is cool. And it also just shows how much Keanu Reeves took it so seriously. And we can I'll probably pull clips up of him at like the gun range and just seeing this incredible stuff that he's doing where he looks like a show shooter.
Right.
So I just really appreciate that. Like, for whatever reason, Keanu Reeves decided to super take this one seriously. Like, he was just on board.
Yeah, it looks great. It's one of those things like you have to practice for those movements, like you said, to be as fluid as they are. Because I can just think about the scene where they're on the balcony and he has the one guy down, he shoots another guy, comes back to guy, and they're all close. So there's all these people around them, the club goers, they're not even slightly getting hit. not by him at least.
Yeah,
like in the aftermath, you know what I mean? Like by a stray bullet because it's so precise.
Right.
So
and his like weird, almost like he punch shoots people because he always gets like, not always, but like very often gets like right up. And so it's almost the same feeling as like fighting choreography, but with guns. Yeah. And that's just another thing. I really think it elevates the movie. It just makes, because how many times can you watch a guy from across a room like point and shoot at people? Like it would get old. And so watching his like ingenious, interesting ways of doing it, I just think is really freaking cool. Very impressive. Erico Barrera says, Keanu is the only actor I know of that has redefined his career 3 times over.
Okay,
First with Bill and Ted. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah. I've never seen them. I know what the concept is. But you're familiar though, right?
Yeah. Whoa. That's where it kind of started that. And that was that joke they did in The Matrix 2 where he has a single whoa. And then with The Matrix, and then third with John Wick. And I totally agree. Like, I think it is kind of cool that he has like these 3 stages of, he could have stopped at like he was that guy who was kind of the stoner comedy dude back in the day. And then when he did The Matrix, everyone was like, Bill and Ted, like he can't do freaking Matrix. Like he's not an action guy. It's ridiculous. And then he did a great job.
Did he do Speed after Bill and Ted though?
Well, that's kind of around The Matrix time. That's like the late 90s.
Speed's late 90s?
Yeah, I want to say like 96 at the earliest, maybe. Yeah, look that up. I'm looking for the next one.
Sorry.
I don't think it's an 80s movie.
Oh, no, it's not. It's 94.
Oh, it's earlier. Okay,
that's what I was thinking.
Well, that's
like,
totally fair.
No.
All right, you're right. I totally take that back then. This guy also said the scene where the dog dies had to be reshot multiple times. They went through 7 puppies. So stupid.
Oh.
No, they obviously were not shooting real puppies.
Don't even make jokes about that, guys. I can't handle it. I didn't even like when the alien got shot in the thing. Don't shoot the dog.
Never mind. I take it back. You're right. Speed would have been 94, so it would have been in between. I guess that totally is an action movie. I guess it's just not. It's a little different, but it's still plenty an action movie because it's not like
there's
karate.
Still like a plot, and I get what you're saying.
It's not like kung fu and stuff. But you're right though. That's enough that he definitely would have helped with that. And honestly, as well. I mean, even just what's it called? The surf movie. Not you played Johnny Utah.
Oh no.
And Bodhi.
Yes.
Point Break?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it coming to me? I know exactly what it is. I can see it in my head.
So that's fair. For whatever reason, though, I do remember people being like, I don't think he would work in this kind of... I mean, maybe it was the sci-fi element more than the action element that they weren't thinking. But even that, he was in Johnny Mnemonic, so I don't know. I mean, honestly, at that point, he kind of seems like a shoo-in now when I think about it retroactively. He would have been the perfect guy to be in The Matrix, so I take it all back. Never mind. But
but still, though, he does, like, it goes flat, though. Like, there's not huge movies. Like,
between The Matrix and this was that, too. I mean, like, he did that, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't think anybody liked that. And I mean, really think about him. How many, like, in the 2000s? It's The Matrix because he did 3 of them.
Yeah.
So by the time
I don't know anything else.
So by the time the third I know, I agree.
And what year does the third Matrix come out? Because it's not that late into...
It's got to be in the early 2000s.
It's like 2005, isn't it? Yeah, so Matrix 2 was 2003, so it had to have been like 2005. May! And then it came out in October.
Yeah. That's... Wow. Man, no wait time at all.
This says Australia, but it's had to be around there, though, anyway, though.
Yeah. So that means that the whole thing is kind of over around 2003, and then...
It's over, yeah.
What's this movie, like 16?
I think it's 2014.
So
So 10 years.
Yeah, like 10-year stint where not a lot going on.
I couldn't name a single thing he was in.
Correct me in the comments if I missed some big ass movie he was in, but I really feel like if he was, it was probably kind of smaller stuff that wasn't really taken off. So it really was kind of people thought he was done. Yeah. And then bam, here it is. And now these movies are actually really successful.
Honestly, that would make a lot of sense too, because like Speed and then Matrix 99. Mm-hmm. And then this comes out 2000. Like, there's still like years in between big projects, versus like you blow up project, die.
Yeah. And now he's kind of the guy again. So he's in like the video games and you're putting him on these movies. It's like, so it's cool. I'm really glad for him. Last little tidbit here from Shadowcat. I know Keanu had the flu and a fever about 104 when they shot that nightclub scene that you... So maybe you were feeling some of the lethargy coming off of the poor guy.
I'm a very empathetic person.
But again, just the professionalism,
that's
so
the
cool.
push through. Just like his like literal dedication to the craft.
Absolutely,
it's crazy.
That's super cool.
So,
and we heard a lot of the same stuff about The Matrix too. It's like he really took it seriously to go and learn, how to do as much of the stunt work and karate work.
He's like the method actor you don't hate.
The one who doesn't have his head all the way up his butt.
Yeah.
He's the one who doesn't use method acting as an excuse to be a jerk.
To be a dickhead. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
He uses it to actually just do the work. Yeah, exactly. No, it's really cool. So it's just it's not the most complicated movie. It's
No.
just a nice nuts and bolts. You know, if you wanted to write a screenplay, you could do a lot worse than using this as the starter for your plot structures of like, this is when this happens, this is when this happens. All the things kind of happen when they should. And it just...
Can you kill someone's duck instead of their dog, though? No, I like ducks, too. Can we just not kill animals?
What a weird animal.
I don't... Well, I was thinking of an animal that would make me cry, but you know what? I would.
What about the tarantula?
What's that movie? Fly Away Home?
I don't
It's
think
a
I know
kid's
that one. I don't know if I know that one.
Oh no, definitely watch Fly Away Home, and that's definitely like for a
I might look it
Christmas
up because
movie.
maybe I know that one. Maybe
because
I do.
it's like I feel like it's a Christmas movie. I don't
Oh,
know.
I do know. Wait, from the 90s, he's got a duck.
And it's got all the. It starts with a little baby goat, and then it's geese.
And is it live action?
Yeah,
dude, I'm pulling a old memory. Yeah,
I
think I did see that movie now that you mentioned it.
You can't even get rid of poultry.
And he had to go and let it go at the end and all that. Yeah, that's so funny, dude. So that was John Wick.
Sorry. A lot of side comments on this one.
And we like it. It's also fun for me because it's not like my kind of movie, but I still dug this one, so I think it sticks out. It kind of deserves to go into the time capsule.
For sure.
Maybe that's a thing we'll start doing in the future. We'll talk about it later. Time capsule. That could be fun. That could be fun.
The Schiller.
All right. Love you guys. We'll catch you later.
See ya.